Well, for the second straight week, Drew Brees joins us from his home, and the second straight week, the New Orleans Saints get a win. But boy, this was a different tempo in this game, Drew. What are your reflections of Taysom's second start and this victory?
Yeah, listen, obviously a lot transpired over the last 48 hours, right? Going into this game with,
Absolutely.
um, a COVID positive on our end, with Teron Armstead, and then kind of the scare of, where we were with offensive line and close contact and other guys having to get retested and all that stuff. So, I think we weren't sure with how many O linemen we were going to have going into this game. And then on the other side, all of a sudden, all the Denver quarterbacks get ruled out, right? And so they're scrambling to kind of find the guy that's going to take snaps for them. So I think once it got to the actual game, I think all of a sudden you have to just understand how that game's going to be played, right? And assume on their end it's just going to be very much ball control, very much running the football, and then looking for opportunities to try to get some momentum or, steal a possession in special teams. Right. And then on the flip side, offensively for us, I think obviously the run game is always something that we pride ourselves in and feel like needs to be a huge part of the game and very complimentary. But I think especially knowing that what's happening on the other side of the ball, let's not take any unnecessary chances, so obviously I think it was, just the conservative nature. But man, we were banging away with the run game. I thought the O line did a great job, especially as the game wore on. You could tell that, man, we were really starting to dent the defense. Latavius Murray had a fantastic game. Obviously, Taysom had some big QB runs as well. Really throwing the football, I think early on was just, hey, it was nakeds. It was, kind of getting outside the pocket and, kind of getting us in field goal range on a big third down completion of Mike, or I guess right before halftime. But for the most part, I think it was just very much, hey, ball control, let's score points. And once you get the game in hand, just don't do anything to let them back in it, right?
You obviously talked to Sean and Taysom. How crazy was it the last 48 hours, maybe changing the game plan or altering it a little bit?
Our game plan wasn't changed. I mean, I know. I mean, I was on the call with. I wanted to listen in last night. I couldn't stand it. Not being there.
Right.
And just kind of listening to Sean and Taysom and everybody talk about kind of the game plan going in, and obviously those are meetings that take place throughout the week. But even with the kind of the announcements that had been made prior to this game about their quarterback situation, listen, you still go out and it's about execution, right? Execute the run game, execute the pass game, execute the offense, and score points. Every time you touch the ball, your goal is to score points. I think you understand even more at a premium, though, is just, hey, taking care of the football. Don't give them any freebies.
Can you imagine, though, as a quarterback being Kendall Hinton this week, and you're on the practice squad, and every guy in front of you don't think you're going to play quarterback, and you have the COVID debacle that happened, and all of a sudden you're playing, and the last time you played was 2 college games. Can you imagine what was going through his mind?
No, listen, that's a crazy scenario. I mean, I can't believe that happened. And I was just imagining, being the offensive coordinator, and
right.
all of a sudden had to scramble. And not only that, but the guy hadn't even taken a snap under center, I don't think, until maybe pregame, right? It's not like he even had a week of practice or even a day or two just to at least formulate a game plan, rep a game plan. It was just kind of being thrown out there. And listen, they had some good runs. They did some good things. I think, our defense obviously did a great job, and just understanding that, man, we're going to keep it in front of us. And when the ball's in the air, we're going to be ball hawks and we're going to go get it. We got a couple turnovers. Those ended up being big plays in the game. So, but yeah, it's pretty insane that just happened, for them.
Absolutely. Was it your decision not to travel, or was it a health issue? I know it was hard for you not to travel.
Yeah. So it was kind of determined even 2 weeks ago that this would not be a trip I would make, just with the lung and everything, there's risks with the pressure in flying, and then obviously being at altitude there. And so that the decision was made 2 weeks ago that I would not travel to this game. In that period of time, the NFL has come out with these new safety protocols too that are limiting the number of people that you can travel with anyway. So at the end of the day, you're really only traveling with guys that are going to play in the game, or, God forbid something happened while you're there. There's a COVID positive. They're going to be a guy that can be activated very quickly to go play. So, listen, I don't even know what's going to happen this week, at Atlanta. But we'll just have to wait and see.
I got to ask you the progress report. I know you've been careful not to give a timeline for your return, but how do you feel compared to even a week ago now?
Listen, I feel better than I did last week. I feel better every day, gradually ramping things up with what I'm able to do, understanding that there's just a healing process that has to take place. But man, I'm pushing it. I'm trying to be back as fast as I can. At the same time, understanding that things have to heal.
You don't miss many games. You always travel for the most part, but the rare opportunity to be at home, were you able to watch the game with your boys? Did you want to watch it by yourself? I mean, how did it work with Drew Brees watching this game?
Well, I didn't sit down, but I had my call sheet in hand.
Wow.
And as the situations would arise, based on, kind of what I knew from the week and our conversations last night, just try to anticipate what was going to be called. And I mean, honestly, just play the game. I love the game. Obviously, I have a huge vested interest in what's happening out there. Personally rooting for a lot of guys as well. But man, just couldn't sit still, and was like I was playing the game.
Last question I have. I know you're close with Taysom Hill. He was over for Thanksgiving. What will the dialogue be? I mean, will you guys talk? I'm sure in the next few hours or when he lands. I mean, I know he is really happy that you take him through step by step every week, but how will it be after this game with you two?
Well, I mean, obviously this is all very new over the last 2 weeks, but I mean, I love sitting watching the game with all the quarterbacks and just kind of talking through what happened and answering any questions, just observing and obviously being there to support and to advise and in whatever capacity that I'm needed at this point. The quarterback position is a unique one because, whoever is the quarterback in the huddle, like he's got to be the guy, right? And it's his style, it's his leadership, it's his command. And so in a way, as a quarterback, man, you got to step back and let that guy just take charge and be himself. But at the same time, man, I want to be such a support system for all the QBs, that's Taysom, that's Jameis, that's now Trevor, and so, man, that's part of my role, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we did the living room last week. Now it's your office. We appreciate your time at home. I know it's a restless time for you. You're itching to get back, but we'll talk to you next week. Have a good week, and I look forward to it, Drew.
All right, Mike. Thanks.